Hello, this is JC De Guzman for our daily top 5 gainers and top 5 losers analysis for August 28, 2019, Wednesday, in preparation for the next trading day on Thursday, August 29th. As always, I'm going to talk about my proprietary way of doing technical analysis for 10 new stocks for today, followed by my overall sentiment, and of course, I'm going to give you my recommendations. I'd like to give you 3 reminders. Number 1, everything that you're going to hear in this video is meant for short-term trading purposes. I repeat, short-term trading purposes. Number 2, if any of these 10 stocks begin at a price lower or higher than the dominant range that you are about to see, and if you happen to be interested in trading the name, make sure that you post a request for the stock's latest trade and volume distribution and true market sentiment charts in our private clients forum. And lastly, before you do a test buy in any stock, even though the 10 SMACD combo is valid, even if its momentum power indicator is bullish, make sure that you calculate your reward to risk ratio first. You have to be satisfied or happy with your triple R before you do a test buy. Okay, are we good with those reminders? Okay, please keep those in mind. So now let's begin with the first stock in our list. We have Now Corporation. This stock has been gapping up for the past 2 trading days already, Tuesday and today, Wednesday. So as you can see here, even though it's a red candlestick, its intraday low is obviously still higher than yesterday's closing price. So I'm going to make an exemption in checking the first criterion of our momentum power indicator. So what do we usually check or ask ourselves when checking the status of the momentum power indicator? What's the first question? What's the color of the last candlestick? Is it green? Well, it's red this time. However, there's an exemption to the rule. Its intraday low is still a lot higher than yesterday's closing price. So we're going to make an exemption to the rule. So even though we are seeing a red candlestick, we're going to treat this one as though it's a green candlestick. Okay? Now, foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 4.66 million pesos. It was also a net foreign selling yesterday, meaning to say the main market movers of Now Corporation are not the foreign fundies, but the local retail traders. Okay, the 10 SMACD combo is valid. Support is at 2.88, resistance is at 4.25. What transpired today proves how strong this resistance is. It failed to sustain its ascent above 4.25. Well, if it did, that would make 5.68 as the immediate resistance, but it did not. I'm not going to make some comments about what I see on the RSI, historical volatility, and DMI because their values are exaggerated already at this point because of the gap ups that happened in the past 2 trading days. So let me just show you the trade and volume distribution chart of Now Corporation. The closing price was at 3.4 here. Because this is where the closing price is, this will get a higher priority, the range between 3.35 to 3.5. This is the first priority dominant range. Now, if Now Corporation starts at a price higher than 3.4, there will be a possibility for the stock to revisit the range between 4.3 to 4.6. So there's a possibility for Now Corporation to retest the resistance at the dominant range between 4.3 to 4.6 on Thursday. So I do hope you have the time to monitor the movement of Now Corporation by the second if you choose to trade Now Corporation on Thursday. Okay? So nonetheless, the momentum power indicator is bullish for Now Corporation. The mood of the top 10 brokers today was bullish. It was bullish. So they liked buying the dips closer to the intraday low. Okay? So my overall sentiment for Now Corporation remains bullish. So if you still have Now Corporation and you'd like to top up, I suggest that you do it within the dominant range, the first dominant range between 3.35 to 3.5. Now, if you don't have Now Corporation and you'd like to trade it on Thursday, position within that dominant range as well. But I highly recommend that you be on top of your trailing stop loss, because Now Corporation is uh, moving just because of the sentiment hype, because of the hype. It's not fundamentally, the ascent in price is not fundamentally backed up. This is pure hype on Now Corporation. So be very careful in trading this stock. It's moving up because of the quote unquote for telco player kind of hype going on in the stock market. That's why it's moving up. So be very careful. Okay, next, KPPI. It closed today at 14 pesos per share. Support is at 12.32, aligned with the 38.2% retracement of the up Fibonacci. Resistance is at 16.4, aligned with the 61.8% retracement of the up Fibonacci also. Foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth, it's an insignificant amount, 188,000 pesos. So we're not going to factor that in. I am not going to mention anything about the oscillators here because it's not applicable yet. It will only become applicable after 30 trading days. Trading days, not calendar days. Okay? So this is the dominant range of KPPI. So the dominant range with respect to the closing price of 14 pesos per share is between 14 to 14.5. 14 to 14.5. So now, this makes the momentum power indicator bullish for KPPI. The true market sentiment is neutral. So we can see here that there was not much confidence coming from the top 10 brokers to buy KPPI at higher price. Take a look at their buying average, 13.76. What was the closing price? 14 pesos per share. So if these deep-pocketed investors or traders are not that confident in buying KPPI near 14 pesos per share, it's all the more that we, retail traders, should be risk-averse or cautious with our decisions of entering a new position or topping up on KPPI. But what's my advice? Let's say you have KPPI and still trading above your trailing stop loss. My advice is that you hold your position for now. If it registers another bullish momentum power indicator on Thursday, in the first few minutes of trading, then you can top up. If not, I suggest that you respect your trailing stop loss. All right, now if you don't have KPPI, what do I suggest? If you'd like to do a test buy, do a test buy within the dominant range between 13 point. What was the price? 13 point. Okay, 13. No, not 13.5, but yeah, 13.5 to 14 pesos per share. So be risk averse in terms of where you would like to position as well. Okay, so that's it for KPPI. Next, PPG. It closed today at 8.81. Support is at 6.83, aligned with the 50% retracement of the up Fibonacci. Resistance is at 9.04, aligned with the 78.6% retracement of the up Fibonacci as a precursor to 10.70. The 10 SMACD combo is valid. I like the perfect bullish alignment of its three simple moving averages. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 856,000 pesos. It's an insignificant amount. RSI is in the neutral territory. Risk level, on the other hand, is extremely high already. Extremely high. Let me re-emphasize that. The upward momentum is still very strong, however. So here is the dominant range for PPG. Okay, with respect to the closing price of 8.8, the dominant 8.81, the dominant range is between 8.78 to 8.81. That's the intraday high. Now, if it starts at a price lower than 8.81, I suggest that you wait between 8.10 to 8.5. No, not really 8.10 to 8.5, but between, it's a long range here. 7.6 to 8.5. 7.6 to 8.5. So that's the next dominant range. So that makes the momentum power indicator for PPG bullish again. However, the mood of the top 10 brokers today was neutral. Their selling average is bigger than their buying average. Okay, with the closing price of 8 point, imagine that closing price was 8.8, but their buying average was only 7.83. They were not that confident as well to buy higher. So if you have PPG, quickly do some quick adjustments on your trailing stop loss whenever applicable. Okay, so be very careful, especially that it has an extremely high risk level already. This is not a newbie. This is not a newbie friendly stock. Okay, leave this one to the experienced guys, to the experienced traders. You will get there, but if you are a newbie trader, skip this one. If you have PPG and you'd like to, and still trading above your trailing stop loss, yes, you can still do a top up within the dominant range. And if you are an experienced trader, and if you are satisfied with your reward to risk ratio, you can also do a test buy. If not, wait for a breakout. Okay, now moving on to SOC. SOC closed today at 0.94, support is at 0.71, resistance is, let's see, the resistance is at 1.06 in confluence with the 50% retracement of the Fibonacci as a precursor to 1.15. Okay, so foreign investors registered a net, I'm not going to mention it, it's an insignificant, negligible amount. The 10s MACD combo is already valid. MACD just crossed above the signal line today. RSI is in the neutral territory. Risk level is extremely high. Again, extremely high. Not a newbie friendly stock. And the upward momentum is not yet confirmed very strong. ADX is still below 25 points. Now, the dominant range for SOC today was between 1 to 1.17. 1 to 1.17. The momentum power indicator is bullish. The mood of the top 10 brokers was neutral for today. Their buying average was 1.06 on the other hand. What makes it neutral? Well, the top 10 players selling average was higher than their buying average. So if you still have SOC, if you manage to enter a new position, I suggest that you either hold your position or top up within the dominant range. Strictly do that. Strictly follow that. So don't buy at any random price. Now, if you don't have SOC and you'd like to do a test buy, I suggest that you wait for Wait for a breakout above 0.98, which is aligned to the 61.8% retracement of the Fibonacci. Wait for a breakout above 0.98 for you to get an attractive reward to risk ratio, of course. Or wait for a pullback near the support level. And before you decide to buy near the support level, make sure that the momentum power indicator is already still bullish, of course. Otherwise, you don't have to buy. Wait for the momentum power indicator to become bullish once again. Okay, so I am bullish on SOC. Next, APO. APO closed today at 1 peso per share. Support is at resistance is at 1 peso per share. Support is at 0.89. Is that 0.89? Yeah, 0.89. If it breaks above 1 peso per share, the resistance will be 1.18. Okay, let me just mention here that the 10 SMACD combo is valid and RSI is playing inside the classical overbought level already. And the risk level of APO is also extremely high. Another non-newbie friendly stock. The upward momentum remains very strong, however. The dominant range of APO was between 0.8, not really 0.8, but 0.9 to, oh yeah, we can consider 0.8 to 1 peso per share. The momentum power indicator is bullish. Now, the true market sentiment was also bullish. There was an appetite to buy APO at a higher price, although it's not that close to the closing price of 1 peso per share. Take note, 1 peso per share was today's intraday high. So, nonetheless, technically speaking, my overall sentiment for APO is bullish. So, if you have APO and if it happens to be trading above your trailing stop loss, then you can also decide to, no, not yet topping up. I suggest that you wait for a breakout before you decide to do a top up. Why? Your RSI is already playing inside the classical overbought level. Okay? So, hold your position, top up only if it continues to ascend above 1 peso per share, provided the momentum power indicator is still bullish when that happens. Same thing for those who are planning to enter a new position. You're better off buying on breakout with the bullish momentum power indicator. So that you can get an attractive reward to risk ratio. Okay? After APO, we go to ECP. These are now the top 5 losers. ECP closed today at 10.78, support is at 9.69, resistance is at 14.25. So the 10 SMACD combo remains valid. RSI is already downward sloping. It's in the neutral territory. The risk level is, again, extremely high. Another non-newbie friendly stock. Okay? So this is the dominant range for ECP. With respect to the closing price of 10.78, where is that? Towards the intraday low. The dominant range in this case is between 10.7 to 11 pesos per share. Avoid ECP for now. This is not a newbie friendly stock because of its extremely high risk level already. Okay? So see this. Even the top 10 brokers are not that happy in terms of buying the dips. They got a neutral sentiment today. So my overall sentiment is already bearish for ECP. Even though the 10 SMACD combo remains valid, the momentum power indicator is bearish. Besides, it's again an extremely high risk stock already. Newbies, avoid ECP. Okay? Avoid ECP. Get rid of the FOMO, fear of missing out. So I am bearish on ECP. Respect your trailing stop loss. At this point, I suggest that you adjust or downgrade the percentage of risk applied in calculating your trailing stop loss because of this sign of a weakening upward momentum. Don't enter a new position as well. Okay, let's move on to PHEN. PHEN closed today at 2.69. Support is at 2.49 in confluence with a 78.6% retracement of the up Fibonacci. Resistance is at 2.94. Even though PHEN is still moving inside the uptrend channel, let's not wait for this one to break below the uptrend channel before you realize the fact that there's no need to hurry in doing a test buy on PHEN. Number one, the 10 SMACD combo is already invalid and it's automatic that the momentum power indicator is already bearish since we're talking about the top 5 losers already. RSI is in the neutral territory, but it's been a while that it has been in a downward sloping mode. Risk level is already moderate, about 4 points away from getting a high risk level also. Another bearish signal is the crossing over of the negative DMI above the positive DMI. So the bearishness is getting stronger in this case. Okay, so the dominant range of PHEN with respect to the closing price of 2.69 is between 2.63 to 2.7. This is closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. The momentum power indicator is, again, bearish. The mood of the top 10 brokers was neutral. There was no appetite to buy the dips by a significant degree. So I remain bearish on PHEN. Do you still have PHEN? Has your trailing stop loss not been hit yet? Then I suggest that you adjust the percentage of risk applied in calculating your reward to risk ratio. Oh no, not reward to risk ratio. Trailing stop loss. Preempt your TSL. That's my suggestion. Those who are planning to enter a new position, no. Don't push through on that decision. Don't do a test buy. Don't top up. Those who have PHEN should already respect their trailing stop loss. Okay, next, Pepsi. PIP closed today at 1.73. Support is at 1.55. Resistance is at 1.95. The 10 MACD combo is already invalid. RSI is in the neutral territory, but it's been a while that it has been in a downward sloping pattern. Risk level is already high for PIP. Okay. So the dominant range is closer to the intraday low than the intraday high as well, between 1.72 to 1.77. The momentum power indicator is bearish, and it's being agreed upon by the true market sentiment, which is also bearish for today. There's still no appetite coming from the top 10 brokers to buy the dips. So it's the same overall sentiment coming from me. It's a bearish overall sentiment. Don't do a test buy, don't top up. Okay, might as well respect your trailing stop loss. Actually, PIP has been moving in a sideways pattern since July, and you know that I don't like trading stocks that are moving in a sideways pattern. I am only interested in trading stocks that are either poised to register a trend or are already in a trend, but not stocks that are still in a sideways or trading the range. I don't like trading the range. Okay. So after Pepsi, we move on to CPG. It closed today at 0.55. Support is at 0.55 also, which is in confluence with a 61.8% retracement of the up Fibonacci. Resistance is at 0.59, aligned with the 78.6% retracement of the up Fibonacci as a precursor to 0.65. The 10 MACD combo is no longer valid. Unfortunately, the RSI is in the neutral territory, but still it's already downward sloping, moving closer to the classical oversold level. The risk level of CPG remains low. The downward momentum is still very strong as confirmed by the DMI and ADX chart. Okay, the dominant range is between 0.55 to, well, actually, it looks like everything's a dominant range for CPG, 0.55 to 0.57, but bulk of it is parked closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. Well, anyway, the momentum power indicator is bearish on CPG. The top 10 brokers were not that happy to be interested in buying the dips. They got a neutral true market sentiment. My overall sentiment for CPG remains bearish. Avoid CPG for now. No buy signals yet. Don't top up as well. And by now, I do hope none of you have CPG. None of you have CPG. Okay? Alright, so moving on to the last stock for today's video is MRSGI. It closed today at 2.35. Support is at 2.28, which is in confluence with the 23.6% retracement of the Fibonacci. Resistance is at 2.53, aligned with 38.2% retracement of the Fibonacci. The 10 MACD combo has been invalid since when? Since the last week of July. RSI is approaching the classical oversold level. It's downward sloping. Risk level remains low, but the downward momentum is about to become very strong. The ADX is just 3 points shy from hitting the 25-point mark. So the dominant range for MRSGI is between 2.32 to 2.35. It's closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. So the momentum power indicator is bearish. However, this is interesting. The true market sentiment was bullish. So there was an appetite to buy MRSGI near the closing price of 2.35. Wow. Let's see. Let's see if 2.28 will be respected. So eyes on MRSGI, especially that it has a low risk level. This is also a newbie-friendly stock, risk level-wise. So the moment you see a green candlestick during the opening on MRSGI, and if the momentum power indicator becomes bullish, I suggest that you post a request for this stock's latest TVD and TMS charts in the private clients forum so that we can tell you if there's already a legitimate, logical, data-driven signal to do a test buy. But I'm going to add MRSGI as well in my watch list for tomorrow's trading. So I like this setup for MRSGI. But for now, as far as today's data is concerned, no buy signal. Let's see tomorrow. I'll definitely add MRSGI in my watch list. I still have a few slots. Remember, during the Evergreen Strategy Seminar, I told you that you should only monitor 3 to 5 stocks because that's the realistic number that you can truly monitor without getting crossed eyes by the end of the trading. So that's it. So I do hope you've learned a lot in today's video. And if you have not attended the Evergreen Strategy in Trading the Philippine Stock Market Seminar, in trading and investing, so the lessons are applicable whether you're doing short-term trading or long-term investing, please attend this seminar. Make time for it. If you don't have time to attend this seminar, I suggest that you make time for this seminar. So on September 28 in Makati, Davao, October 26, Cavite, November 23. Next year, January 25, Baguio, February 29, Pampanga, March 28, Cebu. So attend the seminar. If you are subscribed for 1 year, you automatically get a 50% discount on your ticket. Okay? And if you are subscribed for 1 month or 6 months and you would like to upgrade your membership so that you will get a 50% discount, just email contact@equities.com. Okay? So it's very important. I can't emphasize it enough how important it is for you to attend this seminar so that you will understand everything from stock selection to checking through market sentiment to checking if the trend is more likely to continue or not, all the way to the calculation of your reward to risk ratio, trailing stop loss, etc. From stock selection to execution, buying or selling, everything from A to Z. All right. So again, my name is JC De Guzman. If you have follow-up questions, just ask in the private clients forum. Have a great day.